All right, Claire Newell is joining us this morning to talk about some of the most popular destinations in Europe and some of the ones that have been missed in other years but are really becoming hotspots right now.
Really hot spots. And this is the start of the really popular European season. So over the next 30 to 45 days, we're going to see all of the sun destinations, the airlines that are going to Puerto Vallarta and Cancun, they're going to start to be heading to Europe.
Okay.
And so but the landscape has really changed. London, despite the terror attacks that happened like a week ago or so, at the end of the day, it's still the #1 destination in Europe.
Really?
Yes. But they had a rough year last year with the attacks in Brussels and the attacks in Paris. But we've seen other places gain in popularity. One of the most surprising to me was Amsterdam, 31% growth year over year, which is a huge number. And it's fun. I was there last year and I was shocked. It's got a really young vibe, so much to see and do. But that's a humongous number, and it's the biggest by a long shot. The next largest growth was Lisbon, Portugal. So Canadian dollar goes so far in Portugal, and there's a lot to see and do. There's so much history in Lisbon. And then in the outer areas, if you're a golfer, there's hundreds of golf courses just outside of Lisbon that I know that anyone in my family who's a golfer loves that destination. But that's a 29% growth.
Wow.
Then after that was a little bit slower, but now 12th on the list is Vienna, Austria. And it's had a growth of 17.5% year over year. So if you've never done Vienna, that's a destination that is spectacular. It's so beautiful. They've got the oldest zoo in the world that's there. I just love the history that's there, and I can see why it's gaining in popularity. The whole idea of Vienna, Prague, and Budapest together is such a great trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I went to Amsterdam last year as well. I've been to Prague as well, but Vienna has been at the top of my list as well because it just has that rich architectural history.
Yeah, and because my daughter loves musicals, she loves the sound of music. We had to take a side trip to Salzburg, Austria, which is close for the sound of music.
As well.
Yeah, a really good thing to do. So Germany, now both Berlin and Frankfurt, which I love, are down, but Munich up by 16.5%.
I went to Munich last year too.
A lot of people going there for Oktoberfest. And Budapest was very close, 16% growth. And I can see why. It's a lot of river cruises start or end there, but it's just a growing destination for people who want to, who've done the London and Paris, and they want to go and see something a little bit different. And overall, I know a lot of people were thinking, yeah, I'm not going to go to Europe. There was a ban on Europe last year from the U.S. government was saying, our citizens just need to be really careful when they go there. And year over year, it was still up 3%.
Wow.
So people are still visiting Europe. There's a lot of pent-up demand, I think, this year. And
there's so much variation from city to city in terms of affordability and what you're going to get there. But like you mentioned, it was Portugal, Lisbon, that was one of the most affordable right now.
It is. And where your Canadian dollar goes plays into that, but also accommodation. Access is how easy places are to get to. There are 140 city pairings between different cities in Europe that the average cost was about 30 Canadian dollars. So it is cheap once you get there to go. Should we talk about some deals?
Yes.
Okay, so Vegas for $199 in May.